What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video we are going to be talking about the official ratings for NBA 2K20. So we have already gone over the top 5 rookies, and we have also we haven't really gone over the 3-point shooters. I'm going to talk about the 3-point shooters right now. Buddy Hield is number 5. There is Joe Harris, there is Steph Curry, there's Klay Thompson, and I have no idea who the other one is. Steph is 99 rating, Klay Thompson is 98, and there's no point really making video on the best 3-point shooters. There's no real point in that. Yeah, so now we're going to go over the top 20 players. So these guys are rated between 88 and 97, and there is no guarantee that there's not more players rated 88. Because they made a massive deal about the difference between 2 and 1, and spoiler alert, they're the same overall. And they made like a big difference about, or a big kind of thing talking about a lot of players that were the same ratings, which is a bit weird. And also LD2K, they actually started talking about NBA 2K ratings, and it was one thing that really annoyed me, because they genuinely were talking about it as in like, oh, there's so many factors to go into player overalls, and they didn't mention what is probably the craziest thing and probably the biggest factor in this, or in overalls, is a thing called intangibles. Intangibles is basically a stat to manipulate overall. So 2K can make players, to an extent, whatever overall they want. Like, they're not going to make a 75 overall 99. But they can make a 97 overall a 95 with ease. They can make a 97 overall a 92 probably with ease. You can make a 92 overall 95 overall with ease, because it is one intangible stat that they can bring up and down. So, anyway, we have already been talking well over a minute at this stage. So now let's get on to the top 20. Number 20 is Blake Griffin, who had a great season with the Detroit Pistons, kind of like rejuvenated his career. He got traded from the LA Clippers and actually had a brilliant year with the Pistons. Shot the ball better, handled the ball better, and has become a complete player. I'm delighted to see Blake up this high, because it was looking like he was just going to be a dunker, and has completely adapted his game, and that's something I always like to see in the NBA, players consistently getting better. Number 19 is Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert, an 88 overall. If you guys know stuff about overalls for centers, a lot of the time block stats and height are a big difference, or make a big difference, and for that reason Gobert is going to be rated high. But Gobert is a great player, one of the best big men in the game, and is going to be obviously a great player for the Utah Jazz team, who are stacked. Their starting 5 is stacked. While it doesn't have the star power, they are genuinely stacked. Like, their starting 5, they could go out with Rudy Gobert, Bojan Bogdanovic, Joe Ingles, Mike Conley, and Donovan Mitchell. And speaking of Donovan Mitchell, number 18 is Donovan Mitchell, 88 overall. Yes, Donovan Mitchell is an 88 overall. Not a bad rating. He's actually only got +1 from last year, but it still is a solid rating for a guy who's just finished his sophomore year. And the crazy thing is, like, Dwayne Wade, I was doing a video on this today, Dwayne Wade and LeBron James were genuinely, after their sophomore year, the second highest rated players in the game. Number 17 is Kemba Walker. Just joined Boston Celtics. He is now in 88 overall. I'm not sure if that's an upgrade or a downgrade from last year, but he's had a great season, and to be in the top 17 players in the NBA is about right for Kemba Walker. Number 16 is Jimmy Butler, who is an 88 overall. This is a bit of a weird one, because I think Jimmy Butler was better than the next person on this list, number 15, and they were teammates. But Jimmy Butler is going to be a great defender, a great player. And I can't see his myteam rating, honestly, if he's an 88 overall, being higher than like 85 or 86. So I can see him getting downgraded in myteam. Number 15, we've got Karl Anthony Towns, who's an 89 overall. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is as good as Jimmy Butler. I'm sorry, I don't. Karl Anthony Towns, obviously, really great player in 2K. Just video game wise, there's a lot of things he does really well. Obviously, there's a lot of things he doesn't do great in real life, but they're a lot about wanting to win, and that doesn't matter in a video game. So I kind of understand why he's a little bit higher. But yeah, I would have rather seen Jimmy 1 rating higher. But again, it's not the end of the world, not a big deal. Next, we have got number 14, Klay Thompson, only an 89 overall. So I think this is a little bit low for Klay, because he had an exceptional NBA Finals. Klay Thompson showed he's one of the best players in the world. Like, he could have potentially won Finals MVP while missing a game, injured, had he not tore his ACL in Game 6, because they were winning Game 6. Don't get me wrong, the Warriors were winning Game 6. They were probably going to win Game 7 if they did win Game 6. But yeah, so That's number 14. Number 13, we have got Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is a 90 overall, and this is a controversial one because a lot of people were saying that he should be a lot higher because he did average a triple-double again, and he had some incredible moments last year, which I'm not going to deny, but it was quite clear that Russell Westbrook was not at his best last year. He had a lot of bad moments last year as well as a lot of good moments, but again, I'm not going to complain with him being 13. Personally, if you guys watch the channel, you know I'm not a Russell Westbrook fan. You know I'm not really a fan of ISO ball, of people that can't shoot jacking up threes, and of just Westbrook's the way he plays. But again, a 90 overall may be a bit low for a lot of people. I think that's just about right. I'm not going to complain that he's the 13th best player, but I know a lot of people probably are going to. Number 12 is Nikola Jokic, who is the third best big man in the game. He is the third best center or second best center, depending on what position Anthony Davis is going to be down as. But Nikola Jokic, again, a fantastic center. I put him over the next center, not over AD, but one of the best passing big men in the NBA. When you guys are talking about overalls, there was actually a Reddit post quite a while ago, and it was talking about how certain things affected overalls. I'm pretty sure passing makes no difference for a big man, and thankfully enough, because height does make a difference, Jokic is his actual height. He started off last year as a 6'10" player, and now he's a 7-foot player in my team. And I assume they changed it in rosters, because I remember I was doing an online my league and I had to change it manually. Because Jokic is listed as 7 foot now. And number 11, just outside the top 10, is Kyrie Irving, who's a 91 overall. I think that could potentially be an upgrade from last year. I don't know, but yeah, 91 overall for Kyrie. I don't really know how I feel about that. I'm not gonna lie, I do not know how I feel about that. I didn't think he had the best season last year. Well, to be fair, I say that just because he didn't have great playoffs. He did make the All-NBA second team, so I can't really say he had a bad year. But yeah, so Kyrie, 91 overall, just outside the top 10. And even though obviously playoff bias takes a little bit into account, and he didn't have the best playoffs, especially at the end, but at the same time, he definitely deserves to be somewhere around the top 10, and 91's a fair enough overall for him. Next, we have got number 10, Joel Embiid. I personally think that Nikola Jokic is better, but Embiid at a 91 overall, I'm fine with that. Fully healthy, Joel Embiid may be the most dominant big man in the NBA, probably is. And number 10 at that overall is definitely not something anyone's going to complain about. Number 9, we've got Dame Lillard, who had a great season and a great playoffs. Damian Lillard has been fantastic for years, and finally getting the recognition he deserved. Was one of the most underrated players in the NBA for a long time, and a 92 overall as the 9th best player in the NBA. Yeah, I think that's justified. Number 8 is Paul George, 93 overall. I'm actually shocked Paul George is as low as number 8 after the season he had, but he didn't end it the best and didn't have the best playoffs. Paul George is going to be playing with with Kawhi Leonard for the Los Angeles Clippers, and that is going to be serious defensive team. And even LD2K was talking about how it's going to be, if you like to play off-ball defense, that those two guys are going to dominate. He knows the game, he knows how OP that's going to be next year, and hey, I can't blame people. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Adapt or die. And number 7, we have got Anthony Davis. So Anthony Davis is a 94 overall. So yeah, I think that's a fair rating. 7th best player in the game. He didn't play that much last season. Yeah, 100%. I'm fine with that rating. Now we're on to the top 6, and this is a guy. At number 6, we've got a guy who I would personally have in my top 5, but again, I'm not going to complain when I'm being 6, and it's Steph Curry. Steph is actually the only 95 overall player in NBA 2K19 in my team. Sorry, not 2K19, my 2K20. And if I said 2K19 my team, I'm sorry. It is just a habit at this stage. Steph Curry's a 95 overall, the best 3-point shooter in the game with 99 rating. Can't complain. Number 5 is James Harden. Personally, just in real life, I put Curry over Harden, but in 2K, just the way stats go, Harden probably going to be the better player. James Harden, one of the best offensive players in the game. Just hopefully they fix his release, because whatever they did from 2K18 to 2K19 basically broke his release. Number 4 is Kevin Durant. He 96 overall, definitely a lot lower than people would have expected, but again, it's one overall different than the best. Giannis at a 96 overall. Yeah, that's fair. No 3-point, and that's actually something that is a factor in centers, or centers and small forwards. And yeah, I'm fine with that. MVP of the league, 3rd ranked player. That's fine. no problem, even though I really like Giannis. Number 2, we have got Kawhi Leonard, a 97 overall. And number 1, we have also got LeBron James, 97 overall. So these guys are tied first. And I've got no problems with that. Kawhi was exceptional when he played in the regular season. Sure, he wasn't anywhere in the MVP race because of load management, but if it wasn't for that, he'd be right up there. LeBron James was probably first in the MVP race until he got injured at Christmas. Would he have won MVP? Probably not, because of how Giannis and Harden finished the season. However, there's no question about it, he would have made the All-NBA first team. LeBron James had a brilliant year, and I don't agree with him being number 1. And as I've always said, I personally believe that LeBron James is the best player to ever pick up a basketball. I don't really talk about the GOAT discussion because that takes into account legacy, that takes into account a lot of off-the-court things, which I wasn't alive for Michael Jordan, what he did, and what the likes of Kareem did. But purely on the court, what people did well, I think LeBron is the best, like skill-wise, just everything-wise, IQ-wise, player to ever pick up a basketball. And I do not think he's the best player in the world right now. Kawhi Leonard and Giannis, they should have flipped it. They should have given LeBron James a 97 overall, put him, or not give LeBron James the same rating as Kevin Durant, 96 overall, and give Giannis and Kawhi out by themselves. Or give KD and Kawhi out by themselves and LeBron and Giannis same overall. I do not think LeBron James should be the highest overall player in NBA 2K20, but sure, look, it is what it is. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.